The city sleeps, a gentle hum. Another day has come undone. You sit and stare at screens aglow. Another task, another row. Steady bloom, a quiet grace. The seeds you sow in time and space. Don't need the rush, don't need the speed. Just plant your dreams and let them feed. The doubts may rise like morning mist, whispering tales of what you've missed. Ignore the noise, the judging eyes. Focus on what truly lies. Steady bloom, a quiet grace. The seeds you sow in time and space. Don't need the rush, don't need the speed. Just plant your dreams and let them feed. The sun will rise, the rain will fall, nourishing dreams standing tall. The journey's long, the path unclear, but perseverance conquers fear. Steady gloom, a quiet grace. The seeds you sow in time and space. Don't need the rush, don't need the speed. Just plant your dreams and let them feed. Steady glow, let them feed. The city sleeps. The city sleeps, a gentle hum. Another day has come undone. The city sleeps, a gentle hum. The city sleeps. The city sleeps, the city sleeps. The city sleeps, the city sleeps. The city sleeps. Velvet hum rolls from the stereo, casting amber rings that start to glow. Cup steam dances like a quiet spell, mixing memories I know too well. Every rhythm taps my feet, pulling me into its beat. Vintage cafe mood tonight, shabba as the needle drifts to rest. Still the mood remains the best. Raindrops tapping softly on the glass. Time moves slow, it doesn't rush to pass. Rainy day comfort, stay with me. Wrap me in your melody. Let your warmth replace the cold. Stories whisper gently told. In the gray I find my rest. Quiet moments feel the best. Rain is falling on the glass, numb and slowly drifting past. Holding coffee in my hands, watching time like falling sand. No one here to break the peace. In the silence I find release. No more noise, no more rush. Only quiet, only hush. This night gently holds me close. In the warmth of coffee glow, all the worries fade away. In this quiet place I stay. Shadows dancing on the wall. Hear the distant rainfall call. Even when I'm all alone, I have found a place called home. Rain keeps falling soft and slow, and I finally let it go. A mellow breeze curls around my seat, tracing stories down the quiet street, whirling softly in a painted line, folding time into a fragrant sign. Gentle currents twist and glide, pulling calm from deep inside. Soft breeze, stay with me. Do-da-do-do-da, floating free. Carry little tunes I know, let them wander as subtle sway, whispering tales from far away. Every motion warm and slow, draping moments in a silver glow. Quiet murmurs in the air, settling softly everywhere. Soft breeze, stay with me. Do-da-do-do-da, drifting free. Shape the hour with gentle charm. Wrap the world in open arms. If I follow where you roam, maybe peace becomes my home. Guide me lightly, thread by thread, through the thoughts inside my head. Stay a little just like this, in your airy, tender bliss. Hold a seashell to your ear and hear the ocean drawing near. A gentle rhythm, soft and deep, as summer secrets gently sleep. Seashell lullaby, a sweet refrain, washing away all the pain. The ocean's whispers, a calming sound, as peace and comfort gently surround. I close my eyes and drift away to summer memories of yesterday. The sun-kissed skin, the salty spray, in dreams of oceans far away. The seashell holds a magic key to unlock moments wild and free, a reminder of what used to be, a summer's love eternally. Seashell lullaby, a sweet refrain, washing away all the pain. The ocean's whispers, a calming sound, as peace and comfort gently surround. Seashell, seashell, sing to me a summer's dream eternally. Soft glow, morning slow, the aroma starts to rise. Gentle warmth of roasted flavors, nutty whispers in the air, floral sparks and fruity layers, painting colors everywhere. Every scent a tiny story, carried lightly through the room, from the mountains of Blue Mountain to Kona's soft perfume. In this quiet little moment, all the notes begin to climb, like an orchestra awakening, blending perfectly in time. Oh, this symphony of aroma dancing softly through my mind. Every breath becomes a comfort, every sip a gentle sign. From geisha blooms to sweetest sugars, all in harmony they golden steam above the surface tells a tale of distant lands. Panama's bright geisha flowers sing in delicate command. Every fragrance builds a feeling, calm and focus intertwined. In the hush of early hours, it brings clarity to my mind. In this quiet little moment, all the notes begin to climb like an orchestra awakening, blending perfectly in time. Oh, this symphony of aroma dancing softly through my mind. Every breath becomes a comfort, every sip a gentle sign. From geisha blooms to sweetest sugars, all in harmony they shine. Oh, this symphony of aroma turns my day into divine. And when the world feels too heavy, I return to scents I know. Every cup a gentle refuge, every harmony aglow. This symphony of aroma dancing softly through my mind. Every breath becomes a comfort, every sip a gentle sign. From Kona waves to blue mountain dreams, all in harmony they shine. Oh, this symphony of aroma turns my day into divine. Wait, breath, small laugh, morning opens like paper light. The bakery glass is warm with circles, bread and fog and sugar steam. Outside, bicycles wear a thin frost, like sketches from a quiet dream. I could order something gentler, a cup that climbs in tender air. But I have always loved the contrast of a cold truth handled with care. The barista knows before I ask it, a grin, a nod, the practice start. Darkness poured over ringing diamonds, a tiny thunder for the heart. I step back out into the brightness where winter pins the sky in place, and hold my choice like a clear secret, smiling at the season's face. People wrap themselves in weather, I carry mine the other way. Iced in winter, cold in my hand, bright in my veins. Iced in winter, a little storm that sweetly stays when the bare trees write their music on the pale and open day. Iced in winter, I choose the spark inside the shade. At the corner market, oranges glow like lanterns in a crate. A child taps boots against the pavement, impatient with the hours await. The world is full of soft instructions, stay inside, stay warm, stay mild. But my mouth remembers sunlight, and my spirit keeps it wild. Not reckless, only awake and listening to the clean percussion of the cubes, to the way the bitter turns melodic. When the mind has room to move, there are habits built from comfort, there are rituals built from will. This one meets the freezing morning and somehow makes it gentler still. The cold does not erase the sweetness, it draws its outline in the air. Iced in winter, cold in my hand, bright in my veins. Iced in winter, a little storm that sweetly stays when the bare trees write their music on the pale and open day. Iced in winter, I choose the spark inside the shade. If summer is a memory, then let me drink it without fear. In the language of December, a clear note can still appear. I do not need the season's permission to love what keeps me keen. Some hearts bloom under warm umbrellas, fields of silver green. Iced in winter, iced in winter, cold in my hand, bright in my veins. Iced in winter, iced in winter, a little storm that sweetly stays when the bare trees write their music on the pale and open day. Iced in winter, I choose the spark inside the shade. White breath, small laugh, morning tastes like light. Steam writes a ribbon in the air, morning leans soft on the rim. A blue note sleeps inside the cup, waiting for the light to swim. At the corner cafe by the trees, day arrives in careful tones, not with noise but with the murmur of cups and spoons and turning phones. A vibraphone drops little sunlight on the grain of walnut tables, while a bossa rhythm in the distance loosens all the tightened cables. The window holds a pale reflection of bicycles and passing coats, and the coffee, dark and fragrant, seems to echo hidden notes. I lift the cup and find an evening still resting in the roasted air, a trace of midnight jazz remaining in the brightness settling there. Bitter, warm and faintly sweet, a small blue rhythm in the heat. Blue note in a coffee cup, rising with the morning sun. Blue note in a coffee cup, day and dream becoming one. On the lip of quiet hours, in the swirl the shadows give. Blue note in a coffee cup teaches sleepy hearts to live. Soft guitar of bossa chords sketches leaves against the glass, and the vibraphone keeps shining like dew that learned the art of jazz. No sorrow heavy as the night, no grand confession in the phone, just a gentle afterglow that makes a simple table home. The newspaper remains folded, I let headlines drift away, for there are better kinds of knowing in the tempo of this day. A woman hums beside the counter, someone laughs in half a sigh, and the room with all its smallness opens like a tender sky. Roasted dusk and daylight meet, a blue note turning dark to sweet. Blue note in a coffee cup, rising with the morning sun. Blue note in a coffee cup, day and dream becoming one. On the lip of quiet hours, in the swirl the shadows give. Blue note in a coffee cup teaches sleepy hearts to live. If joy arrives in modest places, steam and wood and mellow art, then let me keep this little rhythm warming both my hands and heart. Blue note in a coffee cup, rising with the morning sun. Blue note in a coffee cup, day and dream becoming one. On the lip of quiet hours, in the swirl the shadows give. Blue note in a coffee cup teaches sleepy hearts to live. Steam grows thin, the note remains bright at the bottom of the day. Sun through curtains, pale and warm, cream in the coffee turning gold. Afternoon opens like a page with nothing urgent to be told. There is a softness in this hour that never asks to be profound. Only rose chords drifting easy, only sunlight on the ground. A spoon rests quiet by the saucer, plants lean green along the glass, and the world outside keeps moving like a film I choose to pass. The cafe smells of bread and citrus, linen sleeves and roasted air, and the smallest kind of music makes the heaviest thought less there. I let my shoulders lose their weather, let the tightness leave my name, while the room in cream and shadow stays familiar, never same. A mellow sway, a velvet line, the day becomes a slower kind. Cream jazz afternoon, floating on a lazy light. Cream jazz afternoon, turn the hours warm and bright. On the table, on the window, in the hum of easy tune. Cream jazz afternoon, stay a little longer soon. A flute comes in like folded paper, light enough to ride the air, while soft percussion taps a pattern full of room and tender care. No dramatic skyline calling, no sharp edge to interrupt, just a kind and rounded silence held in every waiting cup. A stranger smiles above a notebook, someone laughs near shelves of tea, and the day without announcing sets a little daylight free. I used to hurry through this hour, treat it like a bridge to cross. Now I see its hidden orchard blooming under every pause. A quiet cream, a golden tune, the light leans close and fills the room. Cream jazz afternoon, floating on a lazy light. Cream jazz afternoon, turn the hours warm and bright. On the table, on the window, in the hum of easy tune. Cream jazz afternoon, stay a little longer soon. Maybe joy is never louder than a curtain in the breeze, or a chord that keeps on shining through the dust of ordinary things. Cream jazz afternoon, floating on a lazy light. Cream jazz afternoon, turn the hours warm and bright. On the table, on the window, in the hum of easy tune. Cream jazz afternoon, stay a little longer soon. Cream in the cup, light on the floor, and nowhere else I need to go. Foam on the surface, heart-shaped light, a slow first note below. Morning does not need to rush, it has a gentler way to go. The latte art begins to blur as steam lifts white into the day, and nylon guitar is drawing little circles in the gray. Biverfied drops tiny colors on the shelves and cups nearby, each one like a small permission to let the anxious hours lie. The barista moves like practiced water, measured calm and half in song, and the room accepts the softness it was carrying all along. I came in full of restless weather, too many thoughts, too little sky. Now the table, warm and wooden, teaches all that noise to sigh. Milk and melody combine, turning ordinary into kind. Slow jazz latte, spiral warm and drift unhurried. Slow jazz latte, make the morning soft and blurry. In the foam and in the rhythm, in the little silver tray. Slow jazz latte, ease me gently through the day. The bass moves low beneath the brightness, steady as a handrail line, while light percussion keeps the distance between the heartbeat and the time. Nobody here is trying hard to turn the room into a stage. It simply blooms in modest colors, like a margin on a page. At the window, buses murmur, people cross in coats and cream, but inside the chords keep folding, all the rush into a dream. I learn again that peace is humble, not a mountain, not a sea, just a slow jazz latte cooling in a room that welcomes me. A warm refrain, a softer day, the restless edges fade away. Slow jazz latte, spiral warm and drift and hurry. Slow jazz latte, make the morning soft and blurry. In the foam and in the rhythm, in the little silver tray. Slow jazz latte, ease me gently through the day. Let the world keep spinning faster, I will stay a moment more, where a cup and mellow cadence make a haven of the floor. Slow jazz latte, spiral warm and drift unhurried. Slow jazz latte, make the morning soft and blurry. In the foam and in the rhythm, in the little silver tray. Slow jazz latte, ease me gently through the day. Foam grows thin, the warmth remains, and morning learns to smile. I can't forget your eyes met mine across the crowded room. A spark ignited, dispelling the gloom. The cafe on Bleecker Street holds memories dear of laughter and whispers, steaming cups. Fell in love slowly, like dandelion pups. But the city's embrace can be cold and unkind, and our paths diverged, leaving memories behind. Now I sit alone in the same worn-out chair, remembering your smile and the way you would care. The cafe still hums with life's vibrant song, but the magic is gone. Where did we go wrong? The cafe on Bleecker Street holds memories dear of laughter and whispers, banishing fear. The aroma of coffee, the sound of guitars, a sanctuary of dreams, reaching for the stars. Bleecker Street whispers, a forgotten tune, under the shadow of a lonely moon. Silver noon on a city window, cold light folded in a plastic ring. I lift the day with both hands slowly and hear the quiet clink. Morning was a stack of little noises, train doors breathing, shoes across the stone. 1,000 hurried faces in reflection, each one bright and each one gone. Then your name arrived like distant weather, soft as steam that never chose to stay. So I bought the darkest kind of summer in the middle of a winter day. Coffee black as polished midnight glass, ice like stars that learn to keep their shape. I watched the cubes turn clear with patience, as if time itself could melt and wait. The air was sharp enough to draw a line between the heart I hide and what I say. Ice and sip, ice and sip, at the edge of cold I taste the day. Ice and sip, bittersweet and bright, it does not fade. In a paper cup, a small horizon, dark and clean, a fearless little wave. Ice and sip, I drink the winter like a summer brave. Down the avenue the ginkgo branches held their yellow like a final choir. Breath became a ribbon in the crosswalk, hands stayed buried, city wired. But in my mouth the cold kept blooming, not like sorrow, not like borrowed rain, more like truth without a coat around it, clear enough to wake the sleeping grain. I remembered all the rooms I left and all the lukewarm words I did not keep, how some loves fade in porcelain silence, how some dreams arrive on cracked up streets. Still this cup was light inside my fingers, a simple kind of courage, dark and thin, proof that warmth is not the only shelter, proof that frost can also let you in. above the traffic signs, and every breath became a silver page. Ice and sip, ice and sip. At the edge of cold, I taste the day. Ice and sip, ice and sip. Bittersweet and bright, it does not fade. In a paper cup, a small horizon, dark and clean, a fearless little wave. Ice and sip, I drink the winter like a summer brave. Let the seasons say I should be careful. Let the wind insist on gentler things. I have loved the clean electric shiver of a choice that lightly stings. There is music in the cube surrender. There is sunlight in a bitter seam. In the hand that bears the frost of noon, they hold a more unguarded dream. Ice and sip, ice and sip. At the edge of cold, I taste the day. Ice and sip, ice and sip. Bittersweet and bright, it does not fade. In a paper cup, a small horizon, dark and clean, a fearless little wave. Ice and sip, I drink the winter like a summer brave. Silver noon on a city window, one last clink, then all is clear. Brown light, brown cup, brown song in the steam. The table waits in quiet tone. A little rhythm stains the air and makes the afternoon its home. There is a music in roasted color, in walnut wood and cinnamon grain. In the ring a cup leaves on the table, in the gloss of a soft window pane. Road's keys drift like cream through shadow, rounded slow and velvet fine, while brushed snare and double bass keep a patient swaying line. A stranger reads with folded sleeves, sunlight resting on the page, and the room becomes a living sketch of an ordinary stage. No need for spectacle or thunder, just the comfort of a tone that turns the brown of cups and counters into somewhere to belong. A low refrain, a shaded hue, the day grows warm and almost new. Brown melody, slowly turning light to sound. Brown melody, keep my scattered thoughts earthbound. In the roast and in the echoes, in the grain beneath my hand. Brown melody, teach my heart to softly land. The barista moves with quiet timing, milk and metal, glass and grace, and the room inhales together as jazz settles into place. A saxophone, not loud but honeyed, threads a shadow through the cream, and every breath between the phrases holds the shape of a better dream. Outside the buses roll like weather, distant, pale and easy to forgive. Inside the rhythm keeps insisting that a slower soul can live. I used to call this color heavy, mud of hours, dust of days. Now it shines like polished chestnut under music's amber haze. A grounded glow, a softened key, the room grows wide enough for me. Brown melody, brown thoughts earthbound. In the roast and in the echoes, in the grain beneath my hand. Brown melody, teach my heart to softly land. Let bright colors chase the skyline. I will keep this cedar tune, where the quiet brown of simple things can hold a whole monsoon. Brown melody, slowly turning light to sound. Brown melody, keep my scattered thoughts earthbound. In the roast and in the echoes, in the grain beneath my hand. Brown melody, teach my heart to softly land. Brown light lingers on the rim, and the song stays deep within. Blue cup shadow on a small round table. Evening hum, soft rain of sound. There is a color under winter, not only white, not only gray. It lives in subway doors at twilight and the last 5 minutes of the day. It lives in jazz from older speakers, in the mirror of a cooling street, in the denim sky above the rooftops, where the first lamps gently meet. That is where I find my ritual, a dark-eyed song, a patient hue, half of courage, half of longing, all of it becoming blue. Not the blue of breaking open, not the blue of final goodbyes, but the blue of staying tender. While the season crystallizes, I touch the straw, I hear the evening turn its page without a sound. Iljuka blue, cold and lovely, deep and true. Iljuka blue, a winter glow and midnight brew. When the world is wrapped in sweaters, I still reach for something new. Iljuka blue, bittersweet and washed in blue. Across the cafe, someone's notebook holds a map of unfinished lines. A couple shares a silent pastry, the clock forgets to rush the time. My drink gathers little constellations along the wall of the plastic lid, and every sip becomes a shoreline for the words I never did. I think of all the selves I carried through crowded years and borrowed light. The one who wanted more permission, the one who learned to choose the night. Here they meet in one reflection, soft as vinyl, dark as rain. And the blue between those versions sings me back to life again. No firework, no grand confession, just a clear note settling low. Iljuka blue, cold and lovely, deep and true. Iljuka blue, a winter glow and midnight brew. When the world is wrapped in sweaters, I still reach for something new. Iljuka blue, bittersweet and washed in blue. There are songs that bloom in embers and songs that bloom when air stands still. Mine is written on the surface of a dark and shining sea. One small cup of evening weather, opening a brighter me. Yoljuka blue, Yoljuka blue, cold and lovely, deep and true. Yoljuka blue, Yoljuka blue, a winter glow and midnight brew. When the world is wrapped in sweaters, I still reach for something new. Yoljuka blue, Yoljuka blue, bittersweet and washed in blue. Blue cup shadow on a small round table. Evening hum, I drink the blue. A curtain lifts with the smallest breeze. The room begins to sway. Not every dance belongs tonight. Some bloom in gentle day. The tables shine with morning polish. The glasses hum with hidden light. And somewhere in the corner, clarinet threads silver through the bright. A light swing rhythm from the drum brushes rolls softly under every chair. Just enough to lift the stillness, not enough to break the air. The cafe door keeps opening slowly. Coats arrive with bits of sky, and every guest brings in a weather that grows kinder passing by. I find a seat beside the plants, watch dust turn gold in tender streams, and feel the day unlace its shoes to walk more slowly through my dreams. A feather step, a smiling tone, the heart remembers it's not alone. Quiet swing breeze, move the room with easy grace. Quiet swing breeze, leave a calm on every face. In the cups and in the laughter, in the leaves against the glass. Quiet swing breeze, let the noisy hours pass. The piano answers with bright corners, small and clear as sugared rain, while the bass keeps every moment stitched together and humane. Outside the traffic fades to background, a river too far off to name. Inside the rhythm keeps the balance between the playful and the plain. Nothing here is asking for me to become some different heart. Only sit and breathe a little, let the crowded thinking part. There is healing in the ordinary, in the napkin, cup and beam, in a swinging little kindness, light enough to feel like steam. A gentle turn, a clearer view, the room grows wide and almost new. Quiet swing breeze, move the room with easy grace. Quiet swing breeze, leave a calm on every face. In the cups and in the laughter, in the leaves against the glass. Quiet swing breeze, let the noisy hours pass. Let the day keep all its deadlines, they can wait beyond the door. For right here the light is dancing on a kinder floor. Quiet swing breeze, trace. Quiet swing breeze, leave a calm on every face. In the cups and in the laughter, in the leaves against the glass. Quiet swing breeze, let the noisy hours pass. The curtain falls, the brushes fade, and still the air remembers. Rosewood grain beneath my hand, blue in the corners of the room. A low note opens on the air, and suddenly the shadows bloom. This table keeps a quiet history, rings of cups and softened years, and every mark along its surface holds the shine of vanished tears. Cello moves below the chatter, deep as earth after the rain, while piano lays a narrow ribbon through the lantern-colored grain. I watch the light along the counter rest on jars of sugar and spice, and think how even simple things can turn familiar into nice. No storm is breaking through the window, no ache demanding to be named. Just a blue that sits beside me, warm and breathing, slightly changed. A dusky hue, a wooden glow, some feelings heal by staying low. Rosewood cafe blue, resting where the soft lights fall. Rosewood cafe blue, make the smallest room feel tall. In the grain and in the lamplight, in the steam that rises through. Rosewood cafe blue, keep my evening close to you. A woman turns a page in silence, someone stirs a cup twice slow, and the cello keeps on holding all the things I do not show. The piano never hurries, lets each note arrive and land, like small birds on a railing or warm breath across a hand. Outside the trees are darkening, their leaves are lace against the glass. Inside the wood and blue together make a shelter as they pass. I had thought calm was colorless, blank and distant, spare and true, but tonight it wears rosewood edges and a low forgiving blue. A quiet room, a shaded view, the heart grows softer in this blue. Rosewood cafe blue, resting where the soft lights fall. Rosewood cafe blue, make the smallest room feel tall. In the grain and in the lamplight, in the steam that rises through. Rosewood cafe blue, keep my evening close to you. If the night should ask for beauty, I will point to wood and tone, to the way a low chord lingers and makes stillness feel like home. Rosewood cafe blue, resting where the soft lights fall. Rosewood cafe blue, make the smallest room feel tall. In the grain and in the lamplight, in the steam that rises through rosewood cafe blue, keep my evening close to you. Blue on the wood, gold on the cup, and all the room is breathing. Milk white moon on a ceramic rim, a silver hush in the air. The room leans close to hear the steam, as if a secret settles there. By the window evening gathers in folds of amber lace and wood, and every chair becomes a harbor for the drifting and the good. A soft guitar begins in shadows, brushing light across the floor, while distant brushes kiss the rhythm like a tide along the shore. The lamps wear honey on their shoulders, books lie open half in glow, and the quiet has a heartbeat only patient rooms can know. I wrap both hands around the warmth, let the day unbutton slow, until the noise I carried in turns to something small and low. No grand escape, no thundered proof, just calm arriving roof by roof. Moonlit mug, moonlit mug, hold the blue and hold the gold. Moonlit mug, moonlit mug, keep the evening soft and slow. In the curl of rising silence, in the warmth my fingers touch. Moonlit mug, you can say so very much. The double bass walks under everything, round as rain on garden leaves, and a muted saxophone is painting small forgiveness in the beams. Outside bicycles pass lightly, little comets on the street. Inside the clock forgets its burden, and the floor forgets my feet. I thought rest was something distant, far beyond the reach of weeks, but it waits in simple corners, in porcelain and softened keys. Even memory, sharp and restless, loosens at the edge of sound, and all the dim, unsorted feelings find a gentler place to drown. A quiet glow, a breathing room, a winter heart in tender bloom. Moonlit mug, hold the blue and hold the gold. Moonlit mug, keep the evening soft and slow. In the curl of rising silence, in the warmth my fingers touch. Moonlit mug, you can say so very much. If morning asks where peace was hiding, tell it lived in wood and steam, in one small cup beneath a lamp, inside the hush between two dreams. Moonlit mug, hold the blue and hold the gold. Moonlit mug, keep the evening soft and curl of rising silence in the warmth my fingers touch. Moonlit mug, you can say so very much. The moon stays pale upon the rim, and night grows kind and thin. A blue note blooms from roasted air, dark as dusk and sweet as rain. It curls above the waiting cup, then settles in my chest again. The first inhale is almost velvet, earth and cedar, smoke and pear, as if the beans remembered forests and brought their evening with them here. A clarinet begins to wander, fine as ink in amber light, drawing little scented circles through the hush of late twilight. Along the shelf the glass jars glimmer, sugar, cocoa, tea and clove, and every fragrance in the room seems to answer from above. I lean into the wooden quiet, hear the lamp hum low and true, and taste a darker kind of sweetness in this slow aromatic blue. No need for roses, incense, flame, the cup itself has learned your name. Scented blue note, floating through the roasted shade. Scented blue note, linger where the day has frayed, on the lip of warm porcelain, in the breath before I move. Scented blue note, leave your dusk inside the groove. A brushed cymbal barely glitters, light as dust in evening beams, while nylon strings lay down a pathway for the slower, softer dreams. The room is full of unspoken weather, coats by chairs and cooling cups, the kind of peace that never dazzles, only quietly gathers up. I think of all the hurried hours, the past without a single taste. How many days were only distance, how many mornings thin to waste. But here one fragrant minor shimmer changes what a moment means, turning common air around me into velvet, dusk and green. A hidden bloom, a shaded view, the heart can smell its way to blue. Scented blue note, floating through the roasted shade. Scented blue note, linger where the day has frayed, on the lip of warm porcelain, in the breath before I move. Scented blue note, leave your dusk inside the groove. Maybe memory has a fragrance, char and cedar, fruit and flame, and every time the note rises, it quietly calls me by name. Scented blue note, floating through the roasted shade. Scented blue note, linger where the day has frayed, on the lip of warm porcelain, in the breath before I move. Scented blue the signs are fully lit, before the morning finds its shoes, a roaster hums behind the wall and paints the dark in copper hues. The beans begin as little planets, turning slow in heated night, crackling like the frost of branches when the first birds test the light. Smoke lifts thin as penciled weather, brown and silver in the air, and the whole cafe becomes a kiln for tenderness and patient care. A vibraphone like pale sunrise drops bright circles on the floor, while a soft cajon beneath it keeps the pulse behind the door. I watch the dawn arrive in fragrance, not in trumpet blaze or fire, but through the dark alchemy of beans becoming warmth and small desire. From bitter seed to amber breath, the room remakes the edge of death. Dawn roasting, turn the early dark to gold. Dawn roasting, warm the hour before it's told. In the crackle, in the rising, in the first bright ribbon steam. Dawn roasting, build a morning I can keep. The windows wear a tender grain as half of sky and half of sleep. A cyclist passes like a whisper, the avenue is dark and deep. Inside, the roasting drum keeps speaking in a language made of heat, and I can feel my tired spirit leaning closer to its beat. No crowd has gathered yet for daylight, no spoons ring fast against the cups, just the sacred, modest labor of bringing hidden flavor up. It makes me think that all becoming starts unseen and slow at first, a quiet turning in the darkness before the heart remembers thirst. A copper glow, a waking tune, the sun arrives a minute soon. Dawn roasting, turn the early dark to gold. Dawn roasting, warm the hour before it's told. In the crackle, in the rising, in the first bright ribbon steam. Dawn roasting, build a morning I can keep. If hope has any true beginning, maybe this is how it starts. Not with thunder on the skyline, but with heat inside the dark. Dawn roasting, turn the early dark to gold. Dawn roasting, warm the hour before it's told. In the crackle, in the rising, in the first bright ribbon steam. Dawn roasting, build a morning I can keep. Copper air and waking wood, the day begins already good. Rain on the awning, a gentle patter, a Parisian cafe. What does it matter? The world outside rushes, a blur in the gray, but inside a haven to while the time away. A Parisian cafe rendezvous, a stolen hour, a cup of strong coffee, a sweet and a sour. Conversation whispers, secrets unfold. A moment in time, worth more than gold. The scent of croissants and freshly brewed tea, a symphony of flavors just for me. Watching the passers-by with stories untold, a tapestry of life, brave and bold. Maybe tomorrow I'll be far away, but I'll carry this memory come what may. The warmth of the cafe, the gentle embrace, a peaceful moment in this bustling place. A Parisian cafe rendezvous, a stolid art, a cup of strong coffee, a sweet and a sour. Conversation whispers, secrets unfold. A moment in time, worth more than gold. A Parisian cafe dream, forever so sweet. A perfect memory, bittersweet. Rain on the awning, a gentle patter, a Parisian cafe. What does it matter? Rain on the awning, a gentle patter. Rain on the awning, a gentle patter. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Oh. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, a gentle patter, Parisian cafe. What does it matter? The world outside rushes, a blur the gray, but inside a haven to while the time away. A Parisian cafe rendezvous, a stolen hour, cup of strong coffee, a sweet and a sour. Conversation whispers, secrets unfold. A moment in time, worth more than gold. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning. gentle patter at Parisian cafe. Ooh, rain on me, awning. Rain on the awning, a gentle patter. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Rain on the awning, rain on the awning, rain on the awning, rain on the awning. Before the city clears its throat, a dark aroma fills the light. A cup begins the smallest prayer, and morning opens warm and bright. The kettle sighs like winter windows, steam unfolding silver leaves, while roasted shadows on the counter stitch calm into my shirt sleeves. Outside, the streets are still half dreaming, traffic tucked in muted gray. But here the room is lined with cedar, golden at the edge of day. A piano lifts a gentle ladder, step by step through cream and air. And every note seems made of patience, settling softly everywhere. I used to greet the dawn like burdened hands too full of yesterday. Now one bitter velvet swallow turns the heart inside to clay. No sermon, no cathedral dome, just warmth enough to make a home. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, rising from the cup in brown. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, set the restless daylight down. In the roast and in the silence, in the spoon's unhurried gleam. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, wake the heart and soothe the dream. A mellow trumpet from the corner curves like amber through the room, and all the ordinary objects wear a quiet kind of bloom. The newspaper stays folded over, headlines blur beyond the pain, because this hour asks for breathing, not for all the world explained. Someone laughs beside the pastry case, a chair slides back with modest grace, and suddenly the whole cafe feels like kindness given shape and place. I find religion in the simple porcelain steam and low refrain. How a dark and fragrant river can wash a crowded mind like rain. A humble glow, a tender start, black gold mending threadbare heart. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, rising from the cup in brown. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, set the restless daylight down. In the roast and in the silence, in the spoon's unhurried gleam. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, wake the heart and and soothe the dream. If grace exists in earthly measure, it may arrive without a sound inside a cup the color of cedar, with one blue note circling round. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, rising from the cup in brown. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, set the restless daylight down. In the roast and in the silence, in the spoon's unhurried gleam. Hymn to coffee, hymn to coffee, wake the heart and soothe the dream. The cup grows light, the room stays warm, and morning learns a gentler form. Chocolate dusk inside the cup, espresso underneath the moon. A darker sweetness warms the air, and night begins to hum in tune. Mocha midnight tastes like velvet drawn across a cedar room. Coffee bitterness and cocoa meeting in a softer bloom. The chocolate moves in low brown echoes, deep but not too rich to breathe, while the roast keeps all the sweetness rooted warmly underneath. There is a dusk fruit kind of finish, dark cherry smoke and sugared bark, a candlelit complexity that glows without becoming stark. I hold the cup and smell the union, bean and cacao, dusk and flame. Two midnight rivers crossing slowly until they almost share a name. A shaded gold, a satin spark, sweetness learning from the dark. Mocha midnight, mocha midnight, cocoa burning soft and low. Mocha midnight, mocha midnight, where the dark and sweet both flow. In the roast and in the chocolate, in the velvet aftertaste. Mocha midnight, leave no corner left to waste. A cello leans into the silence, warm as shadows on the wall, and piano threads a narrow silver through the richest notes of all. I taste soft bitterness returning after every sugared wave, not to wound the tongue with harshness, but to keep the sweetness brave. Outside the streets are wet with evening, neon trembling in the rain. Inside this cup becomes a lantern for the deep and tender brain. It is dessert but dressed with restraint. It is coffee wearing silk, a moonlit coat of cocoa smoke stitched through dark and softened milk. A midnight gloss, a roasted glow, the sweetest things can still stay low. Mocha midnight, cocoa burning soft and low. Mocha midnight, where the dark and sweet both flow. In the roast and in the chocolate, in the velvet aftertaste. Mocha midnight, leave no corner left to waste. If night could pour itself in porcelain, taste of hidden chocolate, braided through espresso steam. Mocha midnight, cocoa burning soft and low. Mocha midnight, where the dark and sweet both flow. In the roast and in the chocolate, in the velvet aftertaste. Mocha midnight, leave no corner left to waste. The cup grows dim, the scent stays near. A dark sweet hush behind the night. Foam like a little weather front, dust of cocoa on the white. A cup of cloud above the wood, and gentle weather fills the light. Cappuccino cloud begins with velvet foam against the lip. Air and warmth in equal measure, floating through each careful sip. The taste is lighter than it looks, yet deep with roasted dusk below. A powdered cocoa whisper resting where the milk leaves room to glow. There is a froth-born kind of sweetness, not heavy, not too dressed in cream. Just a soft brown body under white, like earth beneath a winter gleam. The scent rises with faint cinnamon, toasted grain and cafe hush. And every breath feels hand-whipped, airy, full of feathered comfort rush. A clouded top, a grounded core, the room turns tender to the floor. Cappuccino cloud, floating on a roasted breeze. Cappuccino cloud, foam and cocoa set at ease. In the lightness, in the brownness, in the dust of bittersweet. Cappuccino cloud, make the morning calm and neat. Clarinet curls through the tables, thin as steam around a chair, while the bass keeps every flavor stitched and balanced in the air. I taste the milk in lifted layers, air made edible and warm. Then the espresso's darker contour, moving under every form. Outside the day wears brisker colors, coats and scarves and hurried feet. Inside this cloud-shaped little ritual makes all the angles soft as sweet. No excess syrup, no bright candy, only elegance and foam. A cup that holds a small white weather and makes the wooden room a home. A cocoa sigh, a creamy tune, the heart sits down beneath the noon. Cappuccino cloud, floating on a roasted breeze. Cappuccino cloud, foam and cocoa set at ease. In the lightness, in the brownness, in the dust of bittersweet. Cappuccino cloud, make the morning calm and neat. If balance had a shape and fragrance, it would gather here somehow, brown below and white above. little sky inside the night. Cappuccino cloud, floating on a roasted breeze. Cappuccino cloud, foam and cocoa set at ease. In the lightness, in the brownness, in the dust of bittersweet. Cappuccino cloud, make the morning calm and neat. Cocoa fades, the foam falls still, and quiet lingers on the rim. A tiny cup, a midnight gleam, dark silk resting in the light. One breath of smoke, one amber thread, and morning sharpens into sight. Espresso velvet on my tongue, bitter first like polished wood. Then a hidden cocoa warmth arrives exactly where it should. Roasted chestnut, dusky earth, a flicker of burnt sugar air. The fragrance moves in narrow spirals like a secret climbing prayer. The room turns smaller, richer, deeper, cedar shadows, copper steam, and every sip draws out a color from the edges of a dream. No wasted sweetness, no excess, just focused, dark and finely spun, as if the whole awake world folded into one precise black sun. A velvet edge, a burning low, the quiet pulse begins to glow. Espresso velvet, dark and bright inside the vein. Espresso velvet, bitter silk and cocoa rain. In the smoke and in the crema, in the roasted river's heat. Espresso velvet, make the waking full and deep. The aroma leans through porcelain, walnut, clove, and amber skin. Not loud enough to seize the room, but strong enough to gather in. I taste the gloss of toasted almond, the ghost of plum, the oil of night. A slender kind of elegance that keeps its fire tucked in tight. Outside the city starts in grain, skis and coats and passing shoes. Inside this dark concentrated note paints the dawn in bronzed hues. It does not ask to comfort softly, it does not bloom in sugared ease. It sings in clean and narrow lines and leaves a stormless kind of peace. A little flame, a satin thread, it lifts the day without a tread. Espresso velvet, dark and bright inside the vein. Espresso velvet, bitter silk and cocoa rain. In the smoke and in the crema, in the roasted river's heat. Espresso velvet, make the waking full deep. If strength could wear a tailored jacket, it would smell of bark and flame. And in a cup no larger than a palm, it would quietly sign its name. Espresso velvet, espresso velvet, dark and bright inside the vein. Espresso velvet, espresso velvet, bitter silk and cocoa rain. In the smoke and in the crema, in the roasted river's heat. Espresso velvet, espresso velvet, make the waking full and deep. The cup is bare, the scent remains a dark gloss on the waking day. Light curling through the brown, a pale gold flower in the cup. Vanilla opens in the steam, and all the morning softens up. Vanilla latte bloom arrives like sunlight folded into milk. A sweetness rounded at the edges, warm and slow and nearly silk. The first sip carries roasted comfort, hazelnut shade beneath the cream, while vanilla lifts a quiet ribbon through the middle of the stream. There is no hurry in the flavor, no bitter line too hard to hold, just caramel breath and clouded foam and tiny notes of amber gold. The cafe windows wear a brightness, plants lean green beside the glass, and this cup turns the air around me into something made to last. A tender swirl, a sugared light, the day grows kinder, sip by sip. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, cream and comfort in the air. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, soft as morning everywhere. In the foam and in the sweetness, in the roasted heart beneath. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, leave your warm light on my lips. Fragrance drifts like linen curtains, sugar bean and toasted hay, with melted cream upon the edges of a slow and forgiving day. I taste pale honey in the finish, not too bright and not too bold, just a mellow field of flavor where the dark and soft both hold. Rose core shimmers through the room, the spoon rests quiet on the tray, and every little ordinary detail seems less likely to decay. This is not a cup for thunder, not a drink of sharpened lines. It is a woolen kind of sunlight that unties the inward mind. A blooming hush, a mellow tune, the cream and roast become one moon. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, cream and comfort in the air. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, soft as morning everywhere. In the foam and in the sweetness, in the roasted heart beneath. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, leave your scented color. It would rise in ivory streams with vanilla writing petals on the polished wood of dreams. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, cream and comfort in the air. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom, soft as morning everywhere. In the foam and in the sweetness, in the roasted heart beneath. Vanilla latte bloom, vanilla latte bloom. Leave your warm light on my lips. The steam grows thin, the bloom stays bright, a pale gold hush upon the day. A low cloud settles on the town, dark shine in a waiting cup. There are seasons named by flowers, by monsoon roofs and harvest moons. Mine arrives with roasted shadows and a chilled, translucent tune. Not in orchards, not in gardens, but in offices and station halls. In the doorway of a corner cafe where afternoon in fragments falls. The cup is black as lacquered memory, the ice like cut and sleeping stone. I watch the surface keep the window as if it wants the world its own. Somewhere leaves are turning copper, somewhere coats are finding rain. Here the year becomes a flavor measured clean on tongue and vein. Every year has one clear password, mine is bitter, bright and slow. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. When the days grow thin, I know my name. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. Dark reflection, silver flame, autumn gold or winter iron. Still I meet them just the same. Season of the black glass, cold and lucid, never tame. I have loved through many weathers, soft beginnings, amber ends, rooms with candles, rooms with static, strangers, lovers, sudden friends. Yet the clearest kind of comfort was not always warm or near. Sometimes it was this exact sharpness, drawing all the blurred things clear. From the first train of September to the last bare week of snow, I have carried the small midnight like a private lantern glow. Not to hide inside its darkness, but to hear its honest tone. How it asks for no performance, how it lets the self stand alone. The year may change its code and language, but the snow remains the same. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. When the days grow thin, I know my name. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. Dark reflection, silver flame, autumn gold or winter iron. Still I meet them just the same. Season of the black glass, cold and blue. the edge of dark and crisp. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. When the days grow thin, I know my name. Season of the black glass, season of the black glass. Dark reflection, silver flame, autumn gold or winter iron. Still I need them just the same. Season of the black glass, cold and lucid, never tame. A low cloud settles on the town, dark shine, steady heart. Blue lamps on the river rail. Night stays cold and I stay bright. After the shops have dimmed their laughter and buses hum like tired birds home, I walk beneath the winter neon with a quiet pulse of chrome. In my coat pocket sleeps a receipt with your unfinished name in ink. I do not read it like a promise, only pause beside the drink. The lid holds tiny moons of water, the straw leans black against the sky, and every passing set of headlights writes a question then goes by. What is love beneath a street lamp when the air is cold enough to ring? Maybe not a rose or fire, maybe just a dark awakening. The colder the wind becomes, the more exact the edges shine. Colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Under winter's glass I hear my mind. Colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Every hidden color comes alive. In the bitter hush of coffee, in the blue between the signs. Colder, clearer night, you are gone and I am more defined. On the bridge the river moves in secret, holding city stars and broken roads. Somewhere far a saxophone is breathing, where the sleepless window glows. I take a sip and feel the silence travel from my tongue into my chest. Not unkind, not empty, not defeated, just a little more confessed. There are nights that blur around us, soft with doubt and amber runes, and there are nights that cut so purely they can make a shadow bloom. Tonight the frost has honest manners, it does not flatter, does not plead. It tells me what remains is living, what remains is all I need. A distant train slips through the dark like silver thread through folded blue. Colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Under winter's glass I hear my mind. Colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Every hidden color comes alive. In the bitter hush of coffee, precision. There is grace in seeing true. When the heart stops begging weather, it can finally welcome blue. Colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Under winter's glass I hear my mind. Oh, colder, clearer night, colder, clearer night. Every hidden color comes alive. In the bitter hush of coffee, in the blue between the signs. Colder, clearer night, you are gone and I am more defined. Blue lamps on the river rail, night stays cold and I stay bright. There's a leaf on the window, light as a sigh. There's a blush in the evening sky. The coffee turns slow in a porcelain sea, and autumn sits down next to me. You would have loved this little place on the corner, where jazz plays low and the room gets warmer. The barista writes hearts in the milk by hand, like someone still believes in gentle plans. Outside the poplar trees let go with grace. Gold slips softly through the open space. Every leaf spins down without a sound, then kisses the patient ground. I sit with my coat and a notebook page, trying to soften the edges of age. But the season keeps making me young again, with cinnamon air and a silver pen. Far away the autumn sea is bright, a dazzling blue under fading light. It calls through the streets and the tram bell chime, like a promise untouched by time. And all at once the hour turns tender. Every quiet color starts to enter the hidden rooms beneath my skin, where old songs still begin. Poplar leaves in your coffee, floating slow. Tiny gold circles in the afterglow. Autumn breeze through the half-closed door, and I want a little nothing more. Shining sea at the edge of town, keep the sunset from going down. In this cafe, in this golden air, love feels lost and still feels there. A spoon rings once like a distant bell, and suddenly the room becomes a shell, holding every whisper, every glance, every unfinished chance. A woman laughs by the record shelf, a man reads poems to no one but himself. The light hangs low on each wooden chair, making small miracles everywhere. I trace the fog on the glass with my thumb, thinking of roads we followed from summer noise to this softer place, where falling leaves have a slower pace. The sea is brighter in autumn, I swear, because the cold makes the light more rare, because goodbye has a clearer tone, because beauty glows when it stands alone. So let the poplars empty the sky, let the gulls write silver lines on high. I will stay till the evening turns blue, and find a quiet kind of truth. And all at once the hour turns tender. Every amber shade becomes a sender, bringing back the words I knew when the world felt close to you. Poplar leaves in your coffee, floating slow. Tiny gold circles in the afterglow. Autumn breeze through the half-closed door, and I want at the edge of town. Keep the sunset from going down. In this cafe, in this golden air, love feels lost and still feels there. Maybe healing sounds like cups and rain. Maybe beauty lives inside the pain. Maybe the sea and the leaves both know how to shine and how to let things go. I don't need summer's loud parade. I just need the softly colored shade. A table, a song, a window, a breeze, and the golden fall of poplar leaves. Poplar leaves in your coffee, floating slow. Tiny gold circles in the afterglow. Autumn breeze through the half-closed door, and I want a little nothing more. Shining sea at the edge of town. Keep the sunset from going down. In this cafe, in this golden air, love feels lost and still feels there. The cup grows cool, the sky turns deep, the city folds itself to sleep. One last leaf drifts down to see what autumn left in me. 3 small steps around the cup. Foam and shadow gently spin. Morning takes a lighter coat and lets a brighter pulse begin. Not a rush, not the racing engine, only a graceful inner tide. As if the caffeine in the porcelain asked the heartbeat to glide. A flute leans over piano chords, clear as light through cafe glass, while the bass in patient circles lets the world slow down and pass. The spoons chime once like tiny dancers. Chairs breathe softly on the floor, and every ordinary movement seems to mean a little more. I came in pale with unslept weather, fog along the edge of mind. Now the room keeps turning gently and leaves the heaviest thoughts behind. Not a storm, but subtle grace, a little rhythm finding place. A waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, spin me through the tender light. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, wake me soft and wake me bright. On the table near the window, through the steam's ascending sheen. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, make the slow day fresh and clean. The barista draws a leaf in foam, milk and espresso, dusk and cream. And the flute keeps lifting small blue petals through the middle of the theme. No jagged edge of nervous energy, no sharp electric jolt or shove, only a poised and careful brightness, moving like a hand in glove. Outside the crosswalk fills with footsteps, coats and scarves in morning white. Inside the triple time keeps blooming with an unembarrassed light. I learned fragrance, with a heart that stays serene, a brighter glance, a softer lean. The day arrives in chestnut sheen, waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, spin me through the tender light. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, wake me soft and wake me bright. On the table, near the window, through the steam's ascending sheen. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, make the slow day fresh and clean. Let the city keep its hurry, I will keep this measured swing, where a cup and gentle rhythm teach the waking heart to sing. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, spin me through the tender light. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, wake me soft and wake me bright. On the table, near the window, through the steam's ascending sheen. Waltz of caffeine, waltz of caffeine, make the slow day fresh and clean. 3 small steps, the cup grows still, and morning blooms beyond the sill.